Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. You guys, we're back. We are back to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 9, Episode 4, Bunking Beds and Butting Heads. Nope, that is wrong. We are now on Season 9, Episode 5. Damn, they going fast. Maybe that's the reason why. It's blast from everyone's past. And once we get into it, we'll see exactly why it was named that. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you be part of the Beautiful People family. You guys go ahead and like the video. It does wonders for my algorithm. Subscribe, subscribe. It is absolutely free. It means nothing to you, but means everything to me. And let's get to it. All right, so we pick up exactly where we left off at the table with Mia saying that, Karen butt dialed them and said, these girls think I'm with Ray. And you guys, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I don't care. I don't care. In my Stephen A. Smith voice, I'm here to tell you that we don't care. Like, we don't care. We have heard this for years. Karen's a cheater. Karen steps out on Ray. Again, who gives a shit? I don't care. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time. Karen says, listen, you're a good friend trying to, take up for your girl, Jacqueline, but it's not going to take away from the fact that she's a liar. Karen also said, listen, if I had some brown liquor, then, anything is liable to come out my mouth. And then they kept showing the pictures, and Karen looked like Kumo D in Wild Wild West. All I kept hearing every time they showed the picture was Wild Wild West. Get it, Karen. But, it's not a big deal. And then in the confessional, Mia says, well, did I say that, she also called me the next morning when she was on her way home? I left that out. Who cares? Who gives a shit? So we get back to the table. We have Ashley saying, in her confessional that she's heard all this stuff about Karen and she believes it. And y'all, I don't care. Karen says that Mia sat on this information for 3 years. And basically, we get to the point of she sat on it because she didn't want to bring it up and not have proof. And she felt like this girl, Joy, and Joy is the one that actually brings this point up. So I'm like, damn, y'all all over Karen. She's like, yeah, I think maybe she sat on it because I wasn't around to co-sign, basically. And yeah, not a big deal. Again, we just don't fuck with Jacqueline. Like, why are you bringing this up, Mia? Why are you trying to say something for Jacqueline when you don't even, well, I won't say you don't even like her, but last season or season before that or whatever, it was just hell with them two. And now all of a sudden she's taking up for her and defend. It's ridiculous. It's so weird how we go straight from arguing to Jassy is in the confessional when she says, listen, my mom is my best friend. I can't imagine life without her. And I really think that maybe Karen was grieving and going through some shit or whatever. And then as soon as we get back to the table, we have gone from fighting to Mia now asking Karen like real serious personal questions. Yeah, so how has Ray been taking this? Has he had your back? Yada yada. And Karen is actually answering these questions. She's talking about how her and Ray were not in a good spot at the time. And, marriages has their ups and downs, but he always has her back and all that. And then we go, it's time to go. Dinner's finally over. The other ladies leave, and we sit around and we're waiting for an hour for Wendy's birthday to finally hit at 12 o'clock. And you could have fooled me because it's been Wendy's birthday for like 1,200 days. So I don't know what they waiting on. But we have Jacqueline, Ashley, and Mia going up to a balcony or whatever to talk about everything that happened at dinner. And Ashley just don't belong, you guys. For some reason, Ashley looked like she is tagging along after Mia, and Mia is the OG or whatever, and like she has nothing to, she just looks out of place without Giselle and Robin, and like I don't know, it just seems so funny though. She looks like a hanger on or whatever, and she's just like, yeah, you're Jacqueline's VIP or MVP or whatever. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up, Ashley, because she really shouldn't be there anymore, you guys. She should have been gone long time ago. Y'all know how I feel about that. Ashley should have been gone as soon as Michael was grabbing asses. Should have been gone. But anyway, we then get Stacy talking to her man, or her best friend. What's his name? TJ? You guys, I don't like him. I don't like him at all. He is a user. I actually don't. Now that I've watched a few reviewers, because yes, I am a YouTube fanatic, so I definitely watch reviewers, and I kind of don't believe their relationship either, you guys. Like something just seems really off, and he seems like he may allegedly be gay. I'm just not even going to beat around the bush. He really does. He was very much so into her trainer and not her at all. But anyway, back to I digress. Back to the phone call. She answers the FaceTime or whatever. He's like, "Hey, princess." And that's exactly how he talks. And, he's like, "So are you leaning into it?" Because she says they're asking about you. And he says, "Okay, well, that's what we're here for. That's what we talked about. I'm just calling to see if you're doing what we talked about. Lean into it, share." And I'm like, he want to be on the show real bad. Like, this man wants to be known real bad. So something is definitely off with him. And then we have Wendy coming in, and Stacy is like, "Hey, Wendy." And I'm like, how do we go from her being pissed off that Ashley mentioned him to Giselle to now he wants her to listen, talk about me, let me meet everybody, like make this a big deal, if that's not where she is, number one. And number two, I don't know, I just feel like maybe they have some sort of agreement. Like you said, what they talked about. So anyway, Wendy comes out, she speaks to him. They all speak to him. Well, not all of them, but the people that were upstairs speaks to him. Wendy says they act like the old church couple, the virgin church couple. Like, oh, I don't know. They don't even seem like the virgin church couple to me. They seem like the non-couple to me. And I really hate that for Stacy, because I really like Stacy, even though she talks like this. And I mean, we know that she's a QVC lady, and there, she could do the news, she could do whatever, but it's so funny to hear her talking like that all the time. So then we're still sitting around waiting. We have 3 minutes till Wendy's birthday. We have Karen saying, "Listen, when I was turning 40, I was turn up. Like, I had dancers, I had a band, we was getting lit, and this is just really not going on." And they're just sitting around. And I did remember hearing somebody say after dinner that they were really tired. So I'm sure it was a lot going on and they were tired. But damn, it is a lot of y'all to just be sitting around looking crazy. But they had her give a little speech before, midnight. And Ashley, with her rude ass, interrupted Wendy's speech. But it was fine with me, because y'all know Wendy is long-winded. So she started getting into her family. And I'm like, ugh, we don't care. We don't care. um, so yeah, they do the little twerk off or whatever. And boom, happy birthday, Wendy. It will not be the last time we say it, you guys. It's going to be Wendy's birthday again forever for the rest of the episode. So just get used to it. But we move on from this. The next morning, we have Mia and Jacqueline going to sit by the pool. They put their feet in this dirty pool, you guys. The pool just looked nasty. I'm sorry, it did. But they put their feet in the pool. And what is this whole thing with Mia now talking about? She had the towel and she puts it down and she's telling Jacqueline, "Oh, I'm here to take care of you." Fuck is up with that? Like, it feels like she's kind of overcorrecting for the fact that people gave her shit for bringing Jacqueline on the show, and then just being really funky to her. So now it seems like she's really, really overcorrecting, and it's too much. So they sit down, and Jacqueline is going on and on about Karen, and Mia's like, I don't want to hear about that anymore. So she wants to talk about her. And she wants to talk about G and the fact that G is having a hard time and he's texting her and all of this that we really don't care about. We really don't care about it. But Mia really does use his bipolar diagnosis, and I don't think I like it a lot. Like, she's like, yeah, he's manic and this and that or whatever. And I feel like, okay, he came to the reunion, he told everybody that he had this issue going on, fine. However, let him talk about it. Like, you don't need to sit up and keep reminding people and talking about it and making it seem like he's half crazy. I don't like it. Something about it I don't like. Like, Mia will do any and everything for a storyline. I'm sorry. And I just hate the way that so far this season she is coming off like she is the head of the gang. Like, she's the I don't like it. I don't like it. Like, how did we let her? This is the same as like Toya last season being over everybody on Married to Medicine. How the fuck did y'all let Tacky Toya take over and we're now listening to her? She's the leader? Are you kidding me? Never. Never. And the fact that they got dingbat and I think I said that word because Karen calls Jacqueline a dingbat later, and that shit was hilarious to me. But her and Mia, definite dingbat. So birds of a feather. And we got her being the leader of the pack. Seriously? And maybe it's just because Giselle isn't here at this time. So I actually can't wait until Giselle gets back to see the dynamic and how it's going to play out. Next scene is Giselle and Jamal with the girls, and she keeps calling it a cap and gown ceremony, and I'm like, girl, it's a graduation. It's a graduation, okay? Congratulations to the girls, the twins. Congratulations. And we have a whole montage of them. They really did grow up on this show, like from the time that they were small, and they've grown into beautiful young women, like all three of them. So it's gonna be very different for her when they leave, y'all. I know. I think I already said it in one of the reviews, the last review. It's gonna be crazy for her when they leave. But she didn't shed a tear. She said her little speech. Jamal said his little speech. And what I find interesting, you guys, is that Jamal is always there for his girls, and I'm sure always has been. And remember when they were playing like they were back together and the girls were really pissed off about it, and it came off like they were mad at their dad, but and they didn't like him. But I don't think that's what it is at all. I think it was the fact that they didn't like the lie. They didn't like playing like that on TV. They love their dad. He's always been there, because now they've gone back to, I guess, what is regular. He's about to get married to somebody else, and they're no longer playing in everybody's faces. So I do think it's great that, they do actually love their dad and they're not upset with him or whatever. But yeah, it was a cute little scene, and we move. All right, you guys. So the next morning, still, we have Wendy. She has on her. Did I say next morning still? No, we're back at the place or whatever the next morning with the girls, and Wendy has her crown and everything on, and she has the girls around her, the new girls, Stacy, and I can't remember the other one, if it was Kay or Jassy. And they're like, go Wendy, hyping her up and everything. It was a cute little thing. Wendy actually laughs just like my cousin Danielle. Like, it's the cutest little laugh. It's so pure. Not pure, genuine. Like, it's a real laugh. You can tell when they're really laughing. I like that. But, we're sitting at the table, and it's interesting because Karen is all the way down at the end, and she's kind of off to herself. I mean, she's with the girls, but it just seems very interesting to see her, which it's weird because Karen is normally not with anyone. But I think maybe it's just different because there's so many new girls or whatever. So I don't know. It's something not weird bad, but just weird. Just weird. We find out, Wendy asks Mia what else they're doing for the day. And she's like, well, we're going to go to our first stop, which is one of the first places that I opened. And we're going to meet Dr. McDaddy, which is so stupid. And they all look. And they actually looked crazy as soon as she said it was one of the offices, the first offices that she opened up. And I think they probably look crazy because you're not in charge of these no more. So, like, why are we going to see stuff that you are no longer in charge of? That it just don't make no sense. But okay, Mia. So Giselle ends up calling Wendy, and she's at the airport, she's on her way, and she tells her happy birthday. Wendy tells her, congratulations about the girls graduating. And then when she hangs up, I think it's Karen that was like, you guys have come a long way, talking about Wendy and Giselle. And then Jacqueline goes into this whole speech about forgiving and holding grudges and yada yada. And Stacy says, um, who are you talking about, Jacqueline? Are you talking about Karen? And she's like, no, I'm just saying in general. And then what's her name? Kay, I'm just gonna call her Kay. She's like, y'all need to lay off Karen for now. Like, give her a break. It was a lot yesterday. Like, you guys were really all over her. And Jazzy agrees. All right, so now I see why Kay and Mia got into it. When I watched it initially, I was just like, it was so much going on. Everybody was just firing at each other, and I was like, what are they arguing about? But Kay tells Karen that she handled herself well because, it was a lot and she think that Mia came and was going really low with her. And Mia says, no, this is boot camp and this is how you learn. And I really think Karen was just proud of me. And, this is how you have to get through it. And she's like, I learned and I earned my flute. And now you need to earn your flute. And Kay is like, listen, you need your flute. I didn't need my flute. So, Mia tells her that she don't need her flute, and she's like, "Are you sure? Because I don't know. Are you sure?" And Mia's like, "No, baby, I don't need my flute." And she says, "What did she say to Mia?" I can't remember, but then Mia says something about her drug dealing boyfriend, and this fool says, "Which one?" And then, of course, we have Ashley in the background. Like, that has been a rumor going around that you had a drug dealer boyfriend. I don't know if it was this guy, but, and what's her name? Kay is just like, listen, my current boyfriend does yada, yada, yada. And Mia's like, well, what about your past? And she's like, well, what about your past? And she's like, well, yeah, I was a stripper. You guys, so Kay does not deny it. She just says, listen, you were a stripper and, entrepreneur. I love all entrepreneurs, which means that her drug dealer was an entrepreneur as well. I wasn't mad at it. That's fine. And then we see the chef is over there taking it all in, like, damn. And then Mia says, well, that's okay, but at least I didn't have to go to the streets. And she says, you were the streets. Then we cut to Stacy in the confessional going, I just don't know what is going on. What is going on? So as the girls are going back and forth, Mia ends up calling Kay Stitches. And we know that that's, due to her having the issue and the fight or whatever last season and getting hit with the glass and having to have stitches. So everybody's like, oh, that's just kind of low. So then Jacqueline's like, well, we're just going to leave the past in the past. And Kay is like, what are you talking about? Leave the past in the past. And then Wendy chimes in and she's like, hold on, tell your girl that. She's the one that brought up her drug dealing boyfriend from the past. And I'm just like, Jacqueline, you should shut the fuck up. Like, you really don't belong here. Jacqueline don't belong here, you guys. She's not strong enough. And see, that's what I mean. Like, as soon as she hear Wendy say, yeah, your friend started it, she's like, oh, okay. And then Mia's like, yeah, I sure did. And then we have Stassi, chiming in like, listen, we're not going to ruin any more birthdays. Let's just get past it. So we then have Ashley turning to Kay, and she's like, oh, you have a scar on your forehead? And Wendy's like, do you not see the scar on her forehead? Like, why are you asking her that? And then she goes crazy on her. Like, Kay just goes crazy. Don't ask me about my scar. You cannot ask me about my scar. And then, of course, Ashley is looking dumbfounded. What? You said you have a skincare line. I'm just trying to see what you use. So you guys, to make things a little clearer, one of the reviewers, I think it was Kempire, kind of broke it down a little bit. So we know that the whole incident happened at an Ashley and Giselle event, and it was Ashley's friend that actually did it. So no, you're not allowed to speak to me about it. However, Kay does have an ongoing lawsuit against the girl, the Muppet looking girl. She is so funny looking, but I can't say that. But anyway, she has a something going against her, saying that, she pretty much scarred her for life and everything. So she's suing her and all kind of shit. So now you ask her on national television, like, where's the scar? As if you can't see it. And this is what she's suing your friend for. So yeah, it does seem a little like, and we know Ashley she ain't shit. She ain't shit. So yeah, it probably was a little premeditated that she was gonna try to call her out and make it seem as though there's nothing there to kind of help out her friend. They keep calling her Ashley's ex-friend. I don't know why. It's so funny, y'all. So as Wendy goes to check on Kay, Jazzy talks to Ashley and she's like, Ashley, do you wear glasses? I was like, you better get her. And she's like, no, I don't wear glasses. You can clearly see her scar. Like, she's getting all over her. And again, Ashley is in the confessional saying, oh, I don't know. She has a skincare line. I don't see anything. Trying to help her friend, like I said. And then we have Kay in the other room talking to Wendy, and she's crying and she's like, listen, Ashley can't ask me about my scar because, it was a very serious situation, and she's pretty much thinking that she's kind of making light of it. She's like, don't bring up something that was very traumatic to me and, make it seem like it's nothing. And, Wendy's like, I understand. She gives her a hug and she brings her back. So as they're coming back, Stacy, once again, is like, Mia, your friends were here. They were very sweet. They were lifting you up. How about we just, kind of keep it that way? How about, can we do that? Can we keep it that way? And I'm like, no, Stacy, do you know where you are? It's the Housewives, sis. Yo, so Kay turns to Ashley and she's like, listen, Ashley, you cannot ask me about my scar. It's off limits to you. Then we have Jacqueline chiming in and she's like, but how did it even come up? And Kay is like, listen, let it go. And then she turns to her and she goes, are you okay? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Y'all, that shit was so funny to me because Jacqueline is definitely out of her league. Like, you're so far out of your league with these ladies, and she is a little slow. So Karen says, can I be a little messy? And they're like, okay, go for it. And I'm like, girl, once again, it's the Housewives. That's what you're supposed to do. So she turns to Jacqueline and she's like, so I heard that you were trying to get back with Mr. PP. And we know that that's her kid's father or whatever. And Jacqueline's so dumb. She don't even realize when people coming for her. She's like, yes. And she's like, well, how's that going? And she's like, oh, well, it's going well. We're moving in a positive direction. Co-parent. And I'm just like, she's so fucking stupid. And Karen just interrupts her and is like, well, yeah, was that before or after his 25 charges? And then everybody was like, what? And yeah, it's so funny because Jacqueline is so stupid that she really thought Karen was talking to her like that again. Like, you really thought she was okay with you? Dumbass. So we hear from Jacqueline that, he was a police officer. There was an internal investigation and he was fired. She says that he was with a racist, police, I guess, where he worked, police department. And now he's still a police. He works somewhere else or whatever. So, okay, it must not have been a huge deal. Even though we do know that police are so stupid that they can just go to other departments. They can kill all type of people, have all type of shit going on in one department, go to another department. We do know that. Yeah, so Wendy says to me, listen, you had the nerve to bring up my friend's ex-drug dealer or drug dealer ex or whatever, and you sitting up here with somebody with 25 charges. And they were like, no, her man had 25 charges. And Mia says, get your facts straight. But by this time, Wendy is already headed to the kitchen and she done waved her off. She don't care. And then, you guys, I told y'all Jacqueline is so fucking weak. She gets up from the table because she's sitting next to Karen and she runs around to Mia's side. She literally goes and runs up under Mia to continue to talk shit. Like, when I saw that, I was outdone and I was just done. Like, seriously, just done. Because I'm like, why is this girl here if she can't take it? You really need Mia's protection? It's crazy. All right, now y'all know it's time for me to wrap it up. It's just been going too long, you guys, and it's just a bunch of arguing back and forth. So, we end up with Ashley kind of trying to take up for Jacqueline, and um, Wendy telling her to shut up and everything. And then what? And she's telling Ashley, shut up. Just shut your ass up, shut up or whatever. And I'm like, once again, Ashley looked like she don't belong here either. Like you are just hanging on, sis. And so Ashley is fussing back at Wendy, and then Stacy says, "Listen, Ashley, it is her birthday. Have some respect. Show some respect." When I tell y'all everything that comes out of this lady's mouth is hilarious to me just because of the way that she speaks. And she be so for real. She be dead ass. Like she be dead ass. So they end up, letting it go or whatever, but not, of course, not really letting it go. So we break off into all these different little things where we talking about it. And Mia is pulling up Karen's arrest records, and she's going through everything and showing what's her name, Ashley and Jacqueline. And Karen is in the kitchen talking to the new girls, and she's telling them, kind of like, listen, this is how you got to be, and basically saying this is how you got to be on this show. But this is how you got to be. You got to make sure people don't fuck with you. You got to stop them, because she should have never said that I called her and I was tipsy and basically trying to be messy, and she really can't take it. So, Mia's in the room. She's going crazy about all the charges or whatever, which we already know she got these charges. It's fine. And then she ends up telling, Stacy comes in the room and she's like, well, you just keep defending this lady with all these charges. And so she's reading them off, and Stacy is like, oh my God, what? Oh my God, I didn't know that. And I'm like, girl, you knew she was facing charges. That's literally all they've been talking about since day one, is the fact that she has these charges and these DUIs and this big time shit. Like, so why are you acting like it's brand new? But she wanted to act like she didn't know. And so, Mia's talking and she's going on and on. And then she ends up saying, yeah, it's bad. Like, we need to probably take her to rehab. And when she says that, I'm like, ugh, y'all know Mia just be talking and lying and talking. And so when she says that, Ashley puts up the church finger and gets up out of there, because she's like, listen, I ain't got no parts of this part of it. Mia is on something different. So she left out. And then Stacy right away goes and she sits down with Karen and she's like, listen, I feel like we need to talk. And she's like, I know you had some stuff going on, and I feel like, they're telling me all these charges because they want me to go against you. And she's like, but, she said that we need to take you to a rehab. And, should I be concerned? And that is where we leave off. But you guys, it's entertaining. It is. I did not want to watch it a second time, so that's why I couldn't finish it up. Yeah, so I'm sure they probably had some other funny lines or whatever, like what's her name, Kay said that Mia looked like people been throwing rocks at her face. And that shit, it was funny because it's not funny, because Mia does have like stuff all over her face, kind of like Kenya. And it's not funny, but light shade. It's light shade, and we appreciate light shade, right? But it was entertaining again, and love Stacy, love the new girls. I do feel like Karen is going above and beyond to bring it, and I do feel like her and Giselle, like they've made serious changes because Robin got fired, and like they really fired some people for real off this show. And so now they're like, oh shit, let me get my shit together and let me really bring it. Especially Karen with the really bringing it part, and Giselle with the I am super nice Giselle now. All right, so we will see what happens in the next one. And they actually didn't even show previews. I was like waiting for previews. I really wanted to see previews. So I guess that means that I'm anticipating the new one, which is good because it's been a long time since I've anticipated anything on reality TV. So that's a good thing. But if you are new to the channel, well, first of all, if you are still here, you are the real MVP. And if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Once again, we would love to have you be part of the Beautiful People family. Go ahead and subscribe. It means nothing to you and everything to me. And let's get your girl to 1,000. At some point, we gotta get your girl to 1,000. So subscribe, you guys. Please like the video. It does wonders for the algorithm. And I will see you guys in the next video. Smooches.